Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit the button on the microphone. Oh, yeah, there you go. Good evening. This meeting is being held in accordance with the public laws of 1975, chapter 231. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and the Star Ledger, posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the municipal website. OPMA authorizes municipalities to conduct public meetings through use of streaming services and other online meeting platforms. The Red Bank Council is meeting in person as well as providing an option for the public to participate via Zoom video meetings. Please note that the option to attend is being provided as a courtesy. Therefore, if Zoom becomes unavailable during the meeting, it cannot quickly be fixed. Council will continue with the remainder of the meeting. For those joining us via Zoom, please raise your hand during designated times to be recognized for a comment. Whether you're appearing in person or via Zoom, you must provide your name to be recognized. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Mary.
Councilmember Bonatakis. Here. Councilmember Cassidy.
Present.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood. I believe she's joining us via Zoom.
I'm here.
Thank you.
There you go.
Councilmember
Hi.
Forrest.
Present.
Councilmember Janone.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano.
Here.
And Mayor Portman.
Present. All right, we're going to jump right to public comments. Can I have a motion to open the floor for public comments on agenda items only?
I make such a motion, Mr. Mayor.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, floor is open for public comment on agenda items only. Yes, Steve. They'll have to go into the box, Jim, to talk.
Yeah.
Steve, come on up into one of the witness
I didn't
boxes.
test them today, but you know.
We've been having an issue with,
I feel like the sound was better there anyway.
Stephen Hecht. I'm not sure whether my question pertains to ordinance 19 or 20. It has to do with the Locust Landing and the pilot. When I downloaded the 76 or so pages that go with your packet, the amount of revenue to be realized from the pilot was blank. And so my question has to do with the pilot. One, there's been a pilot for many, many years. So how does the current plan for a pilot compare to what was in existence since I believe it was 1999? And how much revenue is expected to be realized with respect to the pilot?
Jim or Greg, I guess that's a question for you. Do we have a?
I know percentage.
4%, I saw.
The current pilot is from the 1990s.
Yeah.
And is at 9%. Today's pilots are like the standard is more like 6.2. So the current pilot is draining Locust Landing of money. And this would lower it to 1% for the period of time between now and when the property is renovated and reopened as in its new state as affordable housing.
And at that point, will it jump to what I read in the ordinance of 4%?
Yes.
So it's 1% now, or when it's actually instituted.
It's currently 9%. It would go down to 1% annual service charge. Believe upon execution of that amendment and our agreement to it. So immediately, virtually. And then that would continue. We estimate between 24 and 36 months as the project is raised and then basically refinanced with a new HMFA financing for affordable housing. And then there'd be a new pilot that's entered into that would be at 4%.
Is the legislation you're passing here indicates 4%. But that's not going to kick in until,
the new financing kicks in. So sometime during, basically when you start to see construction out there, I mean, close. And sometime during that period when one loan would take over the other. Simultaneously with this, the original financing for the project is held by the state. And so the affordable housing entity that's redoing this is also asking for forgiveness of the original $600,000 mortgage that's on the property from the state, which the state is amenable to re-up it into all affordable housing. The key here that allows all of these kind of machinations to take place is that it's 100% affordable housing. Also, I think it's publicly known that Red Bank doesn't actually get credit for the 40 units of housing that's there presently.
Not for all of them.
Right, I believe we get credit for four, I believe. Because back in the 1990s, you could accept money in return for transferring credits for affordable housing, which they did with Middletown under the pilot that's being reduced, or shouldn't say the pilot because it's a different agreement, but the transaction that's being reduced. And now when we re-upped for our fourth round of affordable housing, which is currently before the court, and we passed the affordable housing plan here, I think last meeting or 2 meetings ago, that includes this Locust Landing. All 40 credits would then come back to the state, to come back to the Borough of Red Bank. Because our, transferring affordable credits is no longer legal under affordable housing law. And so we, Borough could even do it if they wanted to, but they're not. We're taking all the credits back that are on Red Bank lands into the Red Bank affordable housing rubric that we're seeking approval from the court to. So that's the whole, and while we're on the topic, the impetus for doing this is that the developer that's redeveloping the project site, and this is the most important part of it.
Yeah.
Many who live here, and I wasn't aware of this, I wasn't here then. However, it flooded during Sandy because it's in a flood vulnerable area, and the units are currently not up to standard code. And so this will raise the property up to the flood standard, and they can presently do that now because of the flood standards that presently exist. But if those get changed in the future, it might not be possible to do that. And then it would have to be demolished and rebuilt. And the new construction cost is prohibitive. We would not be able to do this transaction to keep it affordable housing if it has to be demolished and rebuilt. So the timing here is to get in under the current rules for flood requirements, and the property will be raised, and then it doesn't have to be raised to such a height that would mess up all the ADA access from the front of the property and the terrain. So the developer described to us, and the reason this is a rush and all being done quickly is to get in under the current flood rules so that they can raise the property and save the current structure to renovate it, which makes it, I don't want to have given numbers out because I don't know them, but substantially cheaper than demolishing it and rebuilding it as affordable housing. And all the financial functions from the HMFA that are going into this project are premised on the fact that it's being renovated as well and raised. So that's the whole thing from soup to nuts. The borough received a request from this developer. The next round of funding comes up this month, I believe, at the end of this month. They have to have it in. And so that's what we're trying to accomplish, is to basically
Preserve our affordable housing.
rehab it all. And we also, the borough also spoke to the people who represent the borough and the redevelopment council, Big Brown and Scotland Bound, and we've been on all the calls together. My understanding is that there's 3 buildings on the site, and that we specifically requested, and they are at this juncture able to accommodate renovating one at a time so that we don't displace all the people that presently live there at the same time. There is obviously going to be some kind of inconvenience. Also, the program that we're talking about, anyone who must move also gets compensated for moving. So no one's going to be left with their stuff out in the street. The federal program that this flows through our state mechanisms make sure that everyone is taken care of that might not have housing for some period of time. And then there is a priority for the people that live there prior to come back. So that was something that we were negotiating as well as part of this deal. Anything I missed? I know Jim, you've been in everything.
Mayor?
I think Steve just has another.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I very much appreciate, the quality of your explanation
Work on this a little bit.
one other question. I presume this is going to be another long-term pilot.
Yes, well, not a long-term tax exemption pilot, it's an HMFA pilot that's specific to affordable housing. So the type of pilot that's being granted can only be used for affordable housing. Otherwise, there'd be a lot different process to check the financials of a private project and what have you. If it wasn't 100% affordable housing, this wouldn't have been able to be done this fast. The long-term tax exemption requires significantly more investigation and negotiation to enter into than this type of pilot.
Is there a mechanism where we are protected from default?
On the annual service charge. So when we talked about those percentages earlier, that is a percentage of the revenue of the property. And I don't dare say gross or net or tell you what's included in that calculation, but functionally the purpose of the pilot is that the project can't or shouldn't run out of money. What's happened to Locust Landing is they're not out of money. It's impossible for them to generate enough money to finance any upgrades to the property as it currently is a current asset. And the alternative, and should also mention that the incentive to the developer to do this is that they get significant tax credits for developing this kind of housing. And then they can what's called syndicate those credits and then sell them like securities on the open market. So that is the advantage to the developer to keeping the 100% affordable housing is these tax credits that they can use, right? This is an altruism, it's a market. The alternative is the developer can allow the current affordable housing controls to expire in basically the same time frame, and then demolish it and build townhomes or whatever else complies with the flood zoning. But at this moment in history, with raising the property instead of demolishing it, it's more advantageous for the developer to take the tax credits without taking the risk of building all new market stuff in a new place. And so that's what they've opted, like that's the market conditions that have incentivized the developer to do this.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Anyone else have any questions on the agenda items? Yes.
Hello.
Button.
Oh.
There you go.
Hello. Oh, too much. Drew Logan, Allen Place. Just popping in real quick to say I'm looking forward to moving this redevelopment plan along after all those long meetings in the planning board. Looking forward to just seeing that chug along, go forward, good progress. And on the topic of Locust Landing, I think it's a no-brainer to put in a new and improved pilot for this affordable housing. Let's get those credits back from Middletown. I mean, it's been here since the 90s, right? So let's bring those affordable housing credits back and future-proof that affordable housing for the future. So we don't have any other, insane flooding incidents like Sandy.
Yeah.
Thanks. Good seeing everybody.
Thank you. Amy, I saw your hand up. And then you had a question too, Brian?
Excuse me, Amy Goldsmith, 16 Locust Avenue. I'm in favor of the pilots at Locust Landing. We desperately need really, truly affordable housing. And if people weren't able to live in that housing in a way that's done safely, they would have no place to go. And we should be building more truly affordable housing. And while I think we should put, the transit village to a better use. When you look at what they call affordable, it's not really actually affordable, even the affordable units. So we really need to keep our neighborhood stable and solid, and raising people up to stay out of harm's way is one good way to do it and make developers pay for it. But for doing good things like real, truly affordable housing, we should use pilots for that. And I would not say we should use pilots in every instance, but in this case, everybody in that development, really needs a home, and it's close to the elementary school. We have a little park across the way. It's really important to keep that there. So as a neighbor there, I want to support my neighbor at the end of the street, and I want to keep them from being underwater. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have a question or comment on agenda items only? Yes.
No, closer?
Oh, there you go.
I just have to stay, okay.
There we go. Jonathan Gilday, 85 Pinckney Road. And I came to also voice support for Locust Landing. I mean, considering the incentives we have to get, I think it's 36 housing credits.
I just don't see another plan being put forward that is an alternative to that would also get us 36 credits for the same amount of incentive that we would be receiving. And yeah, that's it. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you. Anyone else? Questions, comments, anyone online? No. Just, you'll have several more opportunities to speak. There's a bunch more public comments coming up, so if something pops in your head, you will have another opportunity at the meeting to address it. So then can I have a motion to close the public comment on agenda items only?
Make such a motion, Mr.
I have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the minutes from 6/26/2025?
I'll
A
second.
second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have a whole bunch of ordinances. So first up, it's our final reading and public hearing for ordinance 2025-15 entitled an ordinance adopting a redevelopment plan as approved by the planning board for the non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment known as the train station redevelopment, including the properties identified on the borough's official tax map as block 41, lots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.01, 6.02, and 7. Block 63, lots 5, 5.01, 6, 7, and 7.01. Block 75, lots 104, 104.01, 171, 172, and 177, and 178. Block 75.02, lots 169 and 170.01. Block 75.05, lot 16.01, and block 75.06, lots 7 and 8. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing on this ordinance only?
Certainly, I'll make that motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If anyone has any questions or comments on ordinance 2025-15, now is the time. Yes.
So I've got several comments, but they shouldn't take too long.
Name and address.
Dan Reardon, 20 Irving Place. So I want to first reiterate my objection to the use of a redevelopment plan here. I don't see those parking lots as a blighted area. And they have to be blighted in order for this redevelopment plan to go forward. In general, I'm not crazy about the development. It's better than it was, but for me, it's too massive, it's too dense, and it's too close to the sidewalk. So the density calculations in the plan also are deceptive because they include properties that really aren't being developed. So in the north parcel, they calculate the density using 3.5 acres. Those 3.5 acres include the train tracks and they include the parking lot across the train tracks that are not part of this redevelopment. They're in the zone, but they're not actually being redeveloped. The south part is even so if you take those out, it's really only 2.2 acres that are being redeveloped in the north. In the south, it's even worse, but I couldn't calculate it there because there's a little sliver of the rail yard that's going to be part of the buildings. But the massive rail yard property, which is included, is not going to be developed. So the densities are much higher than what is being put in the plan because they're including properties that are not being developed. I wish there were more specifications about green buildings. It says it should be a green building. I think it calls for some LEED certification, but I really like the way that we did it with the VNA, where we said, if you have bike racks, you get this credit. They had a list of green building requirements. I would have liked to see that. I was happy to see there's now bike walking paths, not proposed, but shown for both of the rail lines, the one that's never used and the one that is used. But they're not proposals. They're not part of the plan. They're in the drawings, and that's it. That maybe one day we'll have them. Well, I think our best opportunity to get them is now, because the developer wants this development. New Jersey Transit wants this development. Neither of them want those paths. If we want the paths, now's our chance to get it. This is when we have leverage. We won't have leverage after we give them this redevelopment plan. Another thing, the affordable units are set at 20% in the redevelopment plan. That's the minimum for the zone anyway. It's the minimum for town anyway. Like, they'd have to give us 20%, whether there was a redevelopment plan or not. So why not ask for more? Originally, it was for 80 affordable units. Now, because of, I used up my time already. Now, because of the shaving off a floor, it's going to be less than 80 affordable units. Why not put 80 affordable units in the plan? Just say we want 80. Because again, now's when we have leverage. We can't come back and ask for more later. And the last thing, I didn't get to see a final copy of the plan. The last one that was published was the second to last draft for the planning board. They didn't post the last draft, and I haven't seen the actual plan that came out of them published anywhere. I couldn't find it anyway. Are the stoops on the apartments facing West Street, are they required now, or are they only recommended or requested or encouraged? Because I'd like to see those required. I think it would make a big difference for the people who are facing, who look at West Street, if across the street there were stoops instead, a concrete wall going straight up.
I think Christina might know the answer.
I want to double check the language, but from our discussions with the planning board, those were required. Yeah, and the developer was amenable to them.
But is it a requirement, or?
That was my understanding. I'd have to find it.
So that kind of detail, like down to that kind of facades and stuff, there's still two more steps past this, which is one, the redevelopment agreement, which would address some of the stuff we talked about, but not all. There would still be a site plan approval at the planning board before someone would have any like permits to build anything. So some of those details are, but what it says, but the planning board would have the final say on things of that, details of that nature.
If it were in the plan, it might not, because if you look at what was approved for Station Place, there were stoops all along Monmouth Street. Now it's just a wall looks like a prison wall going up on Monmouth Street. There's no stoops. They vanished somewhere because I think no one wrote down that they had to be there. So, they were in the proposal, but if it was in the plan, then it'd be harder for them to get out of it. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Anyone else have questions or comments on this ordinance? Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Hi, my name is Peter Bontempo. I live in 21 Bluff Edge, Highlands, New Jersey. Lived around Red Bank my whole life. I think that this transit project is really potentially can be one of the most important buildings in Red Bank. It's the front door of Red Bank for those taking the train. It's a focal point at the center of our city. And it will create jobs for a lot of construction workers in Red Bank and generate tax revenue. There's a lot of benefits to this project. And I think that our future will lie in this sustainable, transit-oriented and pedestrian-friendly environment. And this project can lead us into that future. However, I believe that this project is failing in a couple of ways in what the community wants from what I've heard. I've attended a lot of public meetings and have read news reports regarding this development. So I think I'm reasonably informed on what's going on. And I understand the goals that the community has regarding aesthetics and affordable housing. And I'm also looking at other developments that are happening in town really close and seeing trends between other projects and this project. And I also, for 6 years, worked at an architecture firm with many projects that went through this same public approval process, et cetera, which I was a big part of, and understand how this developer and architect team can work to create a project that we're seeing in these renderings that provided in the plans that provided in the previous meetings minutes. Firstly, I think the project is being sold to Red Bank as servicing our affordable housing needs, which is a very worthy goal. But given trends I've seen in recent development in Red Bank, some certain loopholes are being used to hinder the amount of affordable housing within the center of town where it's really most desired. For example, a project on Front Street intentionally limited the number of units within the building to forego affordable housing requirements, ensuring that all new units would be market rate, all valued over $2 million. Additionally, the development team provided a donation to an affordable housing fund, which excuses the developer from actually providing units on their property while still making a difference. Another example is the West Side Lofts project only provided 4 out of 10 affordable units on site while building the 6 remaining units elsewhere outside of the town center, which not only reduces the number of affordable units in the town center, but also pushes affordability out. While these actions are within the law, they highlight a moral dilemma regarding how Red Bank is really approaching this affordable housing. And I urge you all to take this into account in the future of this development as well as other projects. And my final point is that the citizens are resoundingly choosing a more traditional, vernacular, and incremental design approach that's not really reflected in the initial renderings provided by the town. I've been told by the planning board previously that the current design is not final, and you've reiterated that today. However, given my experience in this type of project, I anticipate that the design being offered will not change substantially from its current form. The current design fails to meet the requirements of the goals of the Red Bank development plan. It's a 241-foot long repetitive brick wall, which doesn't provide the meaningful vertical breaks asked for in the redevelopment plan. As was recommended from the plan, this project must, quote, incorporate attractive architecture at a scale and design that is in harmony with Red Bank's local context, which I believe it fails to do given its enormous size, the lack of appropriate increment, and clear lack of local character. It just doesn't look right. It doesn't look like it fits in. The citizens of Red Bank chose a design in previous public meetings with visual representations of precedents and design ideas that were met with stickers of red and green. And they chose this design that was more dignified than what was proposed, and should be aware that what is seen now is what they might get. And I urge you all to make some sort of guarantee that this project will truly reflect and continue the timeless history and beauty of historic Red Bank. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You just popped that mic off. Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else have any questions or comments on this agenda item only? Anyone online, Jim? Okay, I'd like to have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 2025-15.
I'll make that motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Roll call.
Yeah, well, can I have a motion to well, that was close. Can I have a motion?
Can I make one quick comment, Mr. Mayor? I apologize. Sure. I was waiting for my moment. First, I want to say, I want to compliment the planning board. This was a very thorough set of considerations. It wasn't taken lightly. But I do want to respond to this one thing that was just said by the last commenter, Mr. Bontemps, about affordable housing and some of the past mistakes that have been made, not by this body or this current planning board, but by others, and how they treated the affordable units. And when I was on planning, I'll just tell a brief story. I became aware of a development in this town that denied on-site parking to an affordable unit. And the question was, how did that happen? And it was how it was memorialized. And we made a commitment amongst the planning board that affordable units in this town would no longer be off-site. They would always be integrated among the market rate units, and they would always be memorialized to have the exact same amenities and appliances as the market rate units. That a child coming home to an affordable unit would bring their friends into the same unit as the person paying market rate next door. And that's a commitment that we've upheld by the people that we've appointed to the planning board, because we have taken great care in those individuals that we have, because there are values in this town that maybe had gone unrecognized in the past. And I don't want to say people did things wrong, but they were wrong, unfortunately. Probably well-intentioned, but they were wrong, and those mistakes won't happen again.
Amen.
And as long as this body is elected and here, and it's our choice of who gets to be put on the planning by this mayor is committed to ensuring that our affordable units are treated equally and equitably as our market rate units are, as that planning board that I was a part of, and as this planning board that made this, to move this forward, has been. So I just wanted to make that statement. I appreciate that you're concerned, because that's my concern and that's our concern. So thank you for bringing that. And you pointed out a couple of historic buildings that had some errors to them. And those errors aren't welcome in this town any longer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
I have a question too, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
So, Spirit in his questions at.
By the way, if anyone was wondering, Ben was at the year anniversary kickoff party at the Count Basie before he came here. This is not a new fashion trend he's starting, just. Yes.
So, Mr. Bearden asked about the availability of plan or whatever, the document it's on the docket tonight was, so I guess my question to the attorney or whoever knows was.
It's available.
Was that available to the public as it should have been, and I just couldn't find it, or?
I see it on the planning board agenda section from, you're talking about from the.
Well, I see it on, I saw it on my agenda, but I mean, it was available to review.
The one from the planning board, you're saying, right? The last one they considered, the draft. June 6th, the draft dated June 6th, 2025.
But the one that they approved on.
They approved it with amendments, correct?
Yeah, I never saw that amended version. And I haven't seen the version that you're voting on tonight.
So is this version that we're voting on tonight, is it properly available to the public? That's kind of what I'm asking. Because obviously, the public has the right to read it before we. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I see it.
Yeah. It's again, just to verify it.
Hold on.
I was just gonna say, I mean, changes between those two times were very minimal. I think it
Minimal.
was switching a should for a shall kind of thing, but yeah.
Okay. So no, there wasn't any major.
I feel comfortable and confident voting with the public document that is available based on what has been told to me by the existing planning board members on this dais, that the changes were minimal and that the main one about the 5 stories was the most noted one that I believe everybody here is aware of. That was very public. The reduction in height.
And I also want to make sure I understand correctly, as I think stated, that this is not like a final site plan. There's going to be significantly more process here. I did listen to the videos of the planning board meetings, and so there's going to be significantly more process. This is not like a final. And there may be the trail, there may be, significant changes in the project.
Correct.
And as I recall, and reiterating what I say, my recollection is when I was asked, when we first approved this, I think I specifically asked that all the affordable units will be in the buildings properly, live with everybody together.
Correct.
A little side building. Okay. I just want to make sure I understand all that correctly.
I appreciate your thoroughness. Good. Anyone else before we,
Yeah, I would just quickly respond because again, Mr. Ring brought up some good items and other folks who hadn't attended meetings might not be aware, but to your point about the kind of articulation and detail on West Street, I double checked that it is required, though, to Mr. Cannon's point. because this isn't a site plan, it can't be incredibly specific. But it does say individual apartment entrances with stoops, steps, porticos, or similar features are required. As far as the green elements, that is also very clearly required, though there is then a list of which items would be included in that. The wording is as to the full extent practicable for a green building.
Okay, without further ado, can I have a motion to approve ordinance 2025-15?
I'll make the motion.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis,
Yes.
Councilmember Cassidy.
Yes.
Councilmember Facie Blackwood,
Nancy.
Are you on mute, Nancy?
Did it? I don't know. Her mic's not working.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank
you. Yes.
Councilmember Forrest,
I do want to comment about my vote. I do plan to vote yes. I just want to say that I thought the planning board's process was very thorough. I did watch it and I do appreciate the many that are here that were at the planning board meetings, and I did listen to the testimony. And I think the planning board listened to the public and was responsive and made some reasonable changes. And I'm quite proud of our planning board. And I don't serve on it, but I do appreciate the work that our volunteers there are doing. So I vote yes.
thank you. Councilmember Janot,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Triano,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. I have a quick question for our attorney. Both of these ordinances have to go before the planning board.
Yes.
This one is, we're gonna pull it, and the notes say we're gonna reschedule for Thursday, July 24th. This one, we're gonna approve an introduction, but then we're gonna have it on 8/14. I'm wondering why we have different dates for these two.
So in discussing with the Director of Community Development, it has to do with the planning agenda. So they need significantly more time to review what's functionally replacing the redevelopment plan, we just had a lot of discussions about. The billboard was simpler, so it was a matter of scheduling, but then they have a meeting on July 23rd. And the first one in August is before the 14th, so it's simply because they wanted more time to discuss the organization.
Makes sense. So, first up, ordinance 2025-16, entitled an ordinance amending chapter 490, planning and development regulations to revise the borough's land use regulations applicable to billboards within the borough of Red Bank. That is being pulled. We're not voting on it. It'll be rescheduled for July 24th, our next meeting, and it has to go before the planning board. So we will not be voting on that tonight. Next up is an introduction for ordinance 2025-17, entitled an ordinance amending chapter 490, planning and development regulations to repeal section 490-154 TS Train Station District and replace same with the borough's newly adopted train station redevelopment plan. Can I have a motion to approve ordinance 2025-17 on introduction?
So moved.
Second.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis,
Yes.
Councilmember Cassidy.
Yes.
Councilmember Facie Blackwood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest,
Yes.
Councilmember Janot,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Triano,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. The public hearing, as we just alluded to, for this ordinance will be on 8/14/2025. Planning board needs a little more time to go through this ordinance. Next up, we have an introduction for ordinance 2025-18, entitled an ordinance authorizing the leasing of certain capital equipment by the borough of Red Bank, New Jersey, from the Monmouth County Improvement Authority and the execution of a lease and agreement relating thereto. Can I have a motion to approve ordinance 2025-18 on introduction?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Bonatakis,
Yes.
Councilmember Cassidy,
Yes.
Councilmember Facie Blackwood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest,
Yes.
Councilmember Janot,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Triano,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. The public hearing for ordinance 2025-18 will be held on July 24th. Next up is an introduction for ordinance 2025-19 entitled An Ordinance of the Borough of Red Bank, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, authorizing execution of an amendment to a financial agreement dated February 9th, 1999 between the Borough and Locust Landing Urban Renewal Associates LP pursuant to NJSA 40A 20-1 ETSEQ for an affordable housing development at 105 Locust Avenue and designated as Block 71, Lot 1.01 in the borough. Can I have a motion to approve ordinance 2025-19 on introduction?
I'll make such a motion.
I have a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Mayor, may I make a quick comment?
Absolutely.
Landing. A gentleman earlier said no brainer, and that was my first reaction when I saw this. There's a reason why Red Bank hasn't been hit with a builder's remedy. It's because Red Bank has lived up to its Mount Laurel obligations, and that's what a community has to do. It should do, and everyone in this area should be doing it. I'm relieved to hear that the state's no longer allowing other communities to buy units, the rights to units. There needs to be a place in every town, and we just picked up 36 units. And somewhere down the line, there's going to be that question about whether or not we need an extra floor on a building because we need affordable units, but we just hit 36 and we did it the right way. We have a builder. We talk about market forces. Cool. Red Bank won this one in the war of market forces. This is just one of the best things I'm going to be able to say yes to that has come before me in my time on this body. It's a relief that we have a builder who's going to raise this and do good renovations and keep this completely on the affordable rolls, and not just on the affordable rolls, but moving it entirely to Red Bank's affordable rolls. I'm proud of this one. This is just what a pilot should do in a community, and it's being utilized responsibly, respectfully, and appropriately. And we're doing right by our residents, and I'm just relieved for it.
Bravo. Absolutely.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis,
Also an enthusiastic yes.
Councilmember Cassidy,
Yes.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood,
That would be a yes for me.
Councilmember Forrest,
I'm gonna make a comment again, Mr. Mayor, before I vote.
Your mic on.
I got it on.
So you don't.
No, it's not on.
There you go.
I thought it was.
There you go.
Thank you. So we're talking about my neighbors. We're talking about affordable, 100% affordable housing, and of course, the things you said. But I think of it differently. I think of knocking on those doors, walking upstairs, seeing children I know that grew up with my kids. I remember going to trick-or-treating there. I appreciate the woman answering her door, struggling, who is on oxygen. I appreciate the many people who work in many roles in this town, who live there, whether it's cleaning houses, whether it's they're not able to work for medical reasons. I see a lot of hardworking people in there who pay what they can afford. I am very upset when I see on social media, kind of commentaries, basically, oh, well, we don't need that. It's going to affect me a little bit. Yeah, it's going to affect me too. I'm a taxpayer, I guess a little bit. But, there's not enough housing in New Jersey. There's not enough housing in the United States. So what are we talking about? You want to not approve this and throw those people into the river? That's basically what we're talking about. There's no room. There's no real affordable housing. Not enough is being built in this state. It's true. And if we don't fight for affordable housing in our little town, there won't be any. And it's not just going to happen, it makes me mad because I have many who say, oh, it's not perfect. I want to wait for perfect affordable housing. The state program has gaps in it, or this and that, or federal funding. These are people who live here with us now.
Amen.
And we could just have that whole little community go away. Oh, no one really cares about what happens to
people.
our friends who live there. You know, when I see casual political comments, it's, you know, it's okay. It's what cost me $20 on my taxes, or whatever. But it's upsetting to me that we would entertain not reapproving a community that is in town and are fine, decent people. And I really think our country should have a place for everyone,
I agree.
not just rich people.
Amen, Ben.
Well said, Ben.
Very lucky
Yes, well stated, Ben.
to have some housing for some nice people who are not perfect, who work hard, and who I see every day. And they're very nice neighbors. My wife is here tonight. And I'm very proud to vote yes.
Thank you, Councilman.
And if you don't want somebody who would vote yes for that, you certainly shouldn't vote for me.
It's true. Amen.
Thank you, Ben.
Councilmember Janot,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano,
Yes, and I'll just say briefly, in an alternate universe, you could have a council where this development turned into luxury housing. I want to make that abundantly clear. This is definitely a policy decision, and this is a council that moved quickly when being told by our professionals what the options were. And this outcome could be extremely different. So I'm very proud to serve with a council that has a backbone and understands that everything is local, including your affordable housing, including who you welcome into your town, and including what you comment on the internet. Let's have some respect and love for our community and for our neighbors, as the councilman said, because we live here too, and it breaks our heart to see what some people have to say online about their neighbors. That's a very justified human reaction by Ben. Let's do better. Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. Good work.
Amen, Sister Friend.
I have a motion, well, let me read it first. Next up for introduction is, oh, sorry, ordinance 2025-19 will, public hearing will be held on 7/24/25. Next up is an introduction for ordinance 2025-20 entitled an ordinance authorizing execution of agreement for payments in lieu of taxes for affordable housing development as authorized by NJSA 5227D-301. Davis, do I say ETSEQ or do I have to pronounce that a certain way?
It's that's the more seasoned
What do
attorney.
you say, attorney?
That's so good.
I think you're good.
All right. ETSEQ and NJSA 5227D-329.2, block 71, lot 1.01. Can I have a motion to approve on introduction ordinance 2025-20?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis,
Yes.
Councilmember Cassidy,
Yes.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood,
Yes,
Councilmember Forrest,
Yes.
Councilmember Janot,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. Public hearing for this ordinance will be held on 7/24/25. Next up for introduction is ordinance 2025-21 entitled an ordinance amending chapter 300 construction codes uniform to update construction fees. This ordinance, by the way, does exactly what that title says it does. Can I have a motion to approve on introduction ordinance 2025-21?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis,
Yes.
Councilmember Cassidy.
Yes.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood,
yes,
Councilmember Forrest,
Yes.
Councilmember Janot,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. Next up, busy night of ordinancing.
We keep going.
Cut out all the resolutions, so we got some more ordinances.
Yeah, and by the way, ordinance 2025-21, public hearing for that will be held on July 24th. Next up is an introduction for ordinance 2025-22, entitled an ordinance amending chapter 603, street banners, to update procedures and regulations pertaining to street banners. Once again, an ordinance that does exactly what the title says. Can I have a motion to approve ordinance 2025-22 on introduction?
So moved. So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Second?
Roll call, please. Nancy, once again, oh yeah. You gotta anticipate, compensate for the delay. You gotta like say it a little early.
Councilmember Bonatakis,
Yes.
Councilmember Cassidy,
On the fence. No, I'm kidding, yes. Sorry, street banners, you know, someone's got to throw a little surprise in.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest,
Yes.
Councilmember Janone,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. Does anyone have any of the resolutions that they'd like to pull out and vote on individually, or can we do them all on the consent agenda?
No objection, Mr. Mayor.
Right?
None.
Okay, then can I have a motion to approve resolutions 25-139 through 25-144 under the consent agenda?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis,
Yes.
Councilmember Cassidy,
Yes.
Councilmember Facey.
Yes.
You did it.
Did she say yes?
Did you hear me? Yes.
Oh,
You were too quick this time.
Too quick. Okay, I'm timing it now.
Councilmember Janone, Deputy Mayor Trigiano,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. All right, as promised earlier, can I have a motion to open the floor for public questions and comments?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All right, anything on or off the agenda, if you want to discuss it? In or out of Red Bank, now is the time. Yeah, Frank.
He's got his hand up.
Yay, Frank.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Evening.
Apologize.
He's gonna start already.
Yes,
Hit the button, Frank.
yes, sir. And I've done this once or twice here. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I'm here as the Fire Chief for the Red Bank Fire Department. Mayor, I would also like to thank you for the kind words that you said about the Red Bank Fire Department at the last council meeting and myself. It's greatly appreciated. Mayor, I'm here tonight to discuss the fire at 249 Shrewsbury Avenue on June 24th and what I witnessed. The Red Bank Fire Department, including the firefighters, fire police, EMS, and auxiliary, their courageous and life-saving skills were incredible that day. I was so proud of them. I added the excessive heat that was the hottest day of the year so far. It was 100 degrees plus. I had one firefighter that was sent to the hospital for heat exhaustion. I had 9 others that were treated in the mobile rehab unit from the county. But let me not forget the other divisions and organizations that were there that day. When I was able to turn around with everything going on, behind me, I noticed things. One of them was seeing Borough Manager Jim Gant and also Police Chief Michael Frazee, officers from the police department. Also, I noticed Department of Public Works and their director, Terrence Walton, employees throughout the Public Works, also assisting with handing out water, towels, assisting with other things that the department needed that day. And let us not forget the business owners and bringing water to us, and the residents at this time of need. Truly, we are a community and a family here. That was some sight to see, supporting our volunteer firefighters. I cannot forget all the mutual aid departments that came out to assist us. It was truly a sight. Everything from fire equipment, firefighters, EMS personnel, Monmouth County, mobile rehabilitation center, and professionalism and the efforts that were incredible that day. But let us not forget the assistance of the Monmouth County Fire Marshal, Freddie Migliaccio, and his staff, including fire investigators and all the fire coordinators that assisted with as a truly team effort. I could not have been done without their assistance. There were so many things going on at one time with the people that didn't realize it just not a fire and to rescue somebody. It was coordinated by the fire department, EMS, Red Bank Police. Let us not forget also the landing pad that day that we had to set up, sending another fire department in for the assist the New Jersey State Police landing. And that flew the victim to the hospital to Staten Island. That was going on at the same time. Truly impressive that day. But this is what the community needs to see and understand. Truly means. Mayor and council, I have 2 requests to ask tonight that this will not cost any money to the municipality. Just your help, please. Number 1, I do not know if you are aware that the property did not have working smoke alarms. Our neighboring town to the north of us has had several fires this year with no working smoke alarms. I know Fire Prevention Month is coming very soon in October, but I really feel that this is such an important issue that we need to work on it earlier. Mayor and council, I know you go to many functions. Please, I beg all of you to get this out to the community, to the importance of smoke detectors and carbon monoxide. God only knows what could have happened if we had working smoke detectors. Any assistance that you could do would be greatly appreciated by the fire department and assist the community. Number 2, I know I have spoken to you in the beginning of this year, but Mayor, we are in need of volunteers drastically. I know the residents are very busy with their families and lives, but we are too. But we truly need volunteerism for the Red Bank Fire Department. The town is growing by leaps and bounds. For the residents and citizens of this town, we need all of you. Please think about this. Please, we need your help. Thank you for your time tonight and all the support that you have given us in the past and into the future. Please do not forget, Mayor and Council, if you would like to come to our scenes and be aware of what's going on, we have ways that you can access our communications by being notified by a phone call or just coming to the scene if you hear us. The Red Bank Fire Department would very appreciate seeing you and your support at the scenes. Like Business Manager Gant. I'd like to hear from the scene. I'd like to speak earlier about this, but I would like to offer all of you a wonderful night and enjoying your summer. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Isn't there someone that's running a program where they'll give free smoke detectors to people that don't have them?
Well, just so you know, I have reached out to the county fire marshal. And he's been informed me that there are some programs still possibly in effect with the state. I know with budget cuts and things of that nature, I hope this was not one of them. But we'll try to reach out, and he's our liaison for the town or for the county. He's going to try to see what they have in the state level. But I know Middletown, what I named a northern town, Middletown has had those several fires. They've also reached out to the Red Cross. There is a program there. But not just do we need to have smoke detectors be given out and hung. Since the day I started in this department, we have hung smoke alarms going out to seniors, people that weren't so fortunate to hang smoke alarms. Even we've helped assist property owners that had rentals to even help, so we wouldn't leave somebody in a bind and not have a working smoke alarm. I'm very passionate about this, Mayor. We have to do something. Regrettably, we had an incident this year with somebody got injured tremendously bad. And is, I don't know where we're at right now with him. And I know there's large concerns. I know the family personally. The man's mother was an actual school aide of mine when I was in grade school. But we need, as a community, to get together on this and figure out what we need to do to get this information out. I know Mr. Gant has hired staff for the borough. They have also assisted us before this incident happened. When I went to Mr. Gant about this, we've put a blast out by the Facebook page, I think it was, and possibly something else. But we really need to do something more. I know most people think, oh, October's coming, that's where we're gonna talk about fire prevention, give out the little red helmets. Needs much more than that. It's the adults that we need to get this through to. The children are learning. The children feel that recognize us and see, and they come to us. They want to talk to us. It makes some of the families more comfortable because they think we're government. So they're nervous about us. But again, we need to push this to the community and push it strong. We cannot have this happen again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Jim, yeah, I'm sure we could sit down without you on and get a public awareness campaign going, maybe with some door knocking, even just.
Whatever we can do, Mayor, every little bit counts. And I will get back to Mr. Gant about this and speak to him about what I can find out from the state. And I know you guys are very supportive of us, the mayor and council. If we need assistance, maybe a possible letter or something like that, I know you would be willing to assist us with that. Again, I'm not trying to hurt I know we're in budgetary issues throughout the town, but maybe we can get somebody to donate or possibly get something out this. I know a lot of you council people go to the state levels, the county level meetings. Maybe you can ask for us to assist us.
I had also connected the department with ServPro.
Okay.
It's ready to fund fire detectors.
Okay.
So if you guys want to explore that again in an executive council meeting,
We would gladly do something.
I'll
Absolutely.
have the emails if you want.
Yes, anything would help. And we'll gladly, we've done it in the I apologize, I'm not.
You're okay.
We have done this many, many times. We go out, the firefighters have been trained. We go out, they always, if they have questions about, because obviously, you know, every building, every residential home is not exactly the same. So locations change, where they're required. The fire marshal of this town, we're very lucky to have a fire marshal like we do. He is very knowledgeable. I mean, I do this also for a living. So we do know locations. We go out and we hang these. All the residents have to do is file a hold harmless form showing that the liability doesn't come back to the municipality. But we have sent fire trucks. I don't know if under Kate or Dave's tenure of the department, I don't know if you guys were involved in any of that at that time, but we did it quite a bit. We used to get a couple hundred smoke alarms and we hung them every year. And now we're fortunate, the codes have changed, where you used to hear change your clocks, change your battery at daylight savings time. Now the detectors are required in the state of New Jersey to be 10-year sealed smoke alarms. So they basically have a lithium battery in them that they're supposed to be good for 10 years. So that also helps where residents don't have to go out and purchase batteries, especially people that are physically or not capable of getting up on a ladder to change or a stool to change these alarms. So, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I'll have the night out.
You want to come just do it on the mic, Freddie, so we can, or you can just take a step outside with Frank or something? Okay, so yeah, come on. Come on up and let's do it proper.
What's a council meeting without Freddie?
How y'all doing? That's all. Mayor, I just want to make a suggestion.
Just so you know that you got a name, state your name.
Freddie Boyne, P.O. Box 2074. When y'all have the night out to meet the cops, I'm just making a suggestion. Would it be nice enough to put something up for donations for this? Can you do that or not?
Sure.
For National Night Out? No, for the fire department to. maybe
At
purchase.
National Out for the fire department, so we can purchase.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
making a suggestion, you know, man.
Yeah. That's a good one. Thank you.
And Frank, to your point, I was actually talking with Kevin, we're thinking about dedicating a portion of this year's fundraising mailer with a reminder about smoke alarms, and maybe if we can come up with a couple resources where people can look in advance before that gets printed, we can actually point people towards resources, or maybe a place where they can look for assistance if they can't even afford it or whatever. But yeah, we can start working on some things with you. And of course, we got to turn to, Mr. McGinnis. Absolutely, we'll assist us, but appreciate you.
Mayor, just also council, if anybody's concerned or have questions about what I brought up tonight about smoke alarms or carbon monoxide, I know pretty much everybody has some kind of electronic device, pretty much. If you go on NFPA websites, there are numerous literatures on there on placements, what is required in homes. It's great. And I highly recommend if anybody has any questions on it, please look on the NFPA, and it's an asset to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Thank
have any Questions or you would?
Mayor, I just want to say, the American Red Cross has an in-home smoke alarm installation request program where people can go on, fill out the online form. They actually install a free smoke detector. So this is information we can push out. They actually help the families develop a family disaster plan and other tips for their home. So we can make sure we do a campaign around this as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your help.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
See you.
Anyone else have any questions or comments on anything? Anyone online?
Sure.
No?
I think Freddie wants to go again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Good afternoon again, Mayor and Council. Boyne, P.O. Box 2074. Mayor, I want to thank you for the meeting that we had. I hope we accomplished something Monday. Some things I didn't agree with, but we'll get over that hump when we get there. Mayor, I just want to ask, if Gant don't mind, telling the councilman them what the detectives told you upstairs, what I've done for the cops in the past, if you don't mind, spreading that with them. Because I have nothing against Red Bank Police. And in the years that I worked here, I let him, what he heard, let him tell you.
Are you talking about that one incident that they told me about? Yeah, I was pretty impressed with that, actually. How many years ago was that? About?
I'm 70 now, so.
Are you?
I was a little younger, but
It's my understanding that, and there's some recollection from our meeting and the officers that were the officer that was in the meeting with us, that, they found themselves in a bit of a scuffle in the middle of what Dr. James Parker Boulevard. And I guess who else do you want in your corner?
Golden Gloves box.
Yeah, just a Golden Gloves
I've got a
box.
box.
Yeah, when you're having an issue, and you know what, it seems like it's not going your way. And here comes Freddie Boynton, and he lumped some people up and made sure that the pendulum swung in the way of the police officers that night. So, they shared their thanks, obviously, for the support that Freddie gave to them at that point too. And I thought it was a pretty cool story knowing Freddie's background.
yeah, thank you. Man, I just want to say, I know it's an ordinance for bikes that was on the sidewalk. You're getting a lot of bikes. I know the cops can't cover all the Red Bank, but we're getting a lot of bikes. I'll be walking at night. I'm getting a couple of them coming up on me. Not me, just some people's, and they need to ride them in the street a little bit more often. The other thing is, I know you can't, the chief of police said you can't go to a car when they're having tailgate down the field and check and see what's in a cup. But it's a law that you can't have an empty container or either open the container in your vehicle.
You mean of alcohol?
Yes. So a couple of years ago, Jimmy and Linda was walking down there and Count Basie was
full of beer bottles. It was a football game and cups and everything. So I don't know how you can address it, put signs up, kind of do something because I know we got football seasons. You got soccer coming down there and we don't need that, but you got kids running around and whatnot. So we need to try to tighten that up. The other thing is, I've been to a lot of council meetings, 32 Marmot Street. I'm not here to attack you guys, nobody. But I've been here to a lot of council meetings, started at down there. And I came here and I have seen councilmen's readiness, councilman been attacked by people's. Kate, she was a councilman, 4 councilmen over there, not y'all, but the other 3 was over there. Every council meeting, they attacked her. I didn't like it. I stood up right there. Pat Miller was the mayor. I didn't appreciate it. John Curley, Jennifer Beck, Cindy Burnham, attacked it. Cindy, when she was a councilman. What I'm trying to say is, nobody said, I know of, that it was rude. It was rude and embarrassment. The only one that I heard said that was Gant about my lodge when we had the meeting up there. Spoke to the minister today about it. She was very upset. She was touched about it. She said it wasn't a rude meeting, wasn't disrespectful or nothing. Very nice meeting that y'all had with the mayor, councilman that showed up. I want to thank y'all also. And I think you got the thing, and some people want to see it, and we just don't appreciate that. I'm going to continue to do what I do. I work with y'all. I work with the other councilors that in here. What they didn't do, I was on them. And I want to thank all of y'all for the railroad tracks being fixed. And Steve told me thank you because you're putting I found out you're putting the screen up. Baseball. You know what I'm talking about?
Balls, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
We want to thank you.
Count Basie Fields.
I want to thank y'all. And I hope what y'all put on River Street, the bumper, whatever that is, I hope that slow the traffic down. But I noticed we had a dump truck today going down that way and he had trouble turning. So I hope they don't get broke, towed down or whatnot. So those are the things that I want to address, and I'm going to continue to do what I do for the community, and I will be inviting y'all to my meetings, and that's what I want to do it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Fred. Anyone else have any comments or questions? And still no one online, Jim? Right. All right, can I have a motion to close the public comment?
So moved.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Exec session?
Yes, we do, Mayor.
No, we haven't done.
Oh, that's right. All right, we got Mary council comments here. Let me. I got a little too anxious to get out of here.
You were, yeah. And I
Tried to
was waiting,
skip it by, but I got called.
I was waiting for that happy moment when you point at me.
I'm sorry.
A couple things, I won't take very long. I hope that everyone had a happy 4th and is enjoying, like I am, a beautiful Red Bank summer, even when the days are sweltering. It's still beautiful here and lovely to see. Just a quick comment on some of the items tonight. So I'm the council member on the planning board, also liaison to the Historic Preservation Commission and to the rent leveling board. So land use and housing are pretty much at top of mind for me in terms of my council duties and thinking. And it's also one of the most contentious things. People have a lot of feelings about what we do in terms of land use and housing. But I don't want to shy away from voicing, my thoughts on it. I'm really proud about the steps that we took tonight, which are the culmination of many things in terms of the redevelopment plan, in very public activities, and in terms of Locust Landing, a ton of work by professionals behind the scenes to make that work. And I just wanted to say that I see both of those things as really win-wins for us. I know some folks disagree for various reasons. There are elements that scare people about those things when they hear pilots or they hear redevelopment. understandably, because those things can also go in bad directions. But I think these were really good, thoughtful, respectful decisions. Both here and on our land use boards, I think everyone really does hear the public and tries to take that into account, which we've done here. Locust Landing, obviously, preservation of affordable housing, agreed, no brainer. That is so critically important to our community and the way that it feels to live in this town. And the train station redevelopment is the same. We are, as a state, as a nation, in desperate need of housing. Whether you are personally feeling that pinch or not, that is the truth. And we need it in this town. It is highly in demand because we're a great town. So I am very happy that we are getting that additional housing, especially affordable housing there. But I know someone said differently, but I will always prioritize housing over surface parking lots. That's why I say this is a win-win. This isn't trees coming down to build housing. It's building great housing within an existing dense neighborhood and adding to that vibrancy. So really proud of what we've done. And hopefully we can see similar positive impacts going forward. Thank you.
Nice, Christine.
Hope you all bear with me. This is a lot about community night. And our community lost one of my favorite people. And that's Tim Cronin. And a few months ago, when Tim announced he was sick and he told to me, I said nothing would ever change between us except for one thing. I was going to cheer for the Yankees, but my concession was I wouldn't cheer against the Mets, which is like, if you know me, that's like about as good a thing as I can offer a person. We think of community leaders from a dais, people who hold title, volunteers. And I don't know if you've seen the outpouring of affection for Tim, but Tim was a glue person in this community and beyond. He was a community leader and he was just a brilliant man. He is known for his music and his art and for being a really nice guy, but he was more than that. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we had this beautiful conversation about the works of Murakami and John Fonte. He was exceptionally well read. I thought of him when you were talking, Ben. He was just a kind man.
Yeah, he was.
He cared about kindness and spreading it. And we spoke a lot about music, obviously, and we disagreed on a lot of things. I never quite got Hawkwind. He loved Hawkwind. I love Motley Crue, and he made it known how stupid I was for that. About 2 weeks ago, I texted him and I said, you know, Tim, I think my number one record right now in my life, in the world, the greatest record of all time is the Minutemen, Double Nickels on the Dime. And he texted me back really quick. He goes, top 5 always. And the last song on the first LP is a song called History Lesson Part 2. And it's a beautiful song that I can listen on repeat like 10 times in a row. And the first line is, our band could be your life. And it's just this song about friendship and writing your own story and who you write it with. And our chapter with Tim's a little shorter than we wanted to be.
Yeah.
But damn, if it isn't a great freaking chapter.
Yeah, he would.
Just be kind to each other. Write your own story and write it with your community and those around you and those you love and spread it. Because short chapters can be the best chapter in a book. And in this town, it might be a little bit shorter than we wanted it to be, but the chapter on Tim Cronin is one of the best damn chapters Red Bank's ever written. And I miss him already.
Thank you, David. Ben.
I think tonight I'm just sticking with Parks and Rec stuff.
Fair enough.
As I liaison to Parks and Rec, we have a free rowing class for kids 14 to 18 in partnership with the Navasink Rowing Club.
I keep forgetting this.
July 26th, 8:30 a.m. Maple Cove. Evening classes at the Senior Center on Wednesday. Line dancing 6:30, Tai Chi and Qigong at 7:30 on July 16th. And youth rock and roll concert with the Red Bank School of Rock on July 28th at 7 p.m. And of course, we have lots of other amazing things. The gardening event. Does anyone remember the date of that? It's the 20th. I think it's my anniversary.
20th.
Goldsmith at 16 Locust Avenue will be doing tours of our own house, actually. And I don't know how, it's quite a few houses that are participating. So that's Sunday, July 20th. And we also are celebrating our anniversary on that day. That's my Parks and Rec report.
Very nice.
Nice way to spend an anniversary.
Happy anniversary, guys. And I
Happy
skip,
anniversary, Ben.
I'll let Nancy go next if you have anything, Nance.
Well, there's a lot of outpouring of kindness and cherishing people. I really don't have much, but the Environmental Commission has a new chair, and the vice chair moved up to be chair. Her name is Danelle Johnson. So, be on the lookout for some changes in how she's approaching in communicating with the community. Also, Christina does land use, and I find that I do a lot of climate and street related actions for the town. And one thing I do want to say about Locust Landing and why I do support this. This is a building that was built in 1965, which is now facing changes due to climate change. And I fully support 100% housing that is affordable. And when they are rebuilding it, a lot of people would say, well, why aren't you pushing it to make it a green building? And the reality is from 1960 to 2025, 60 years, energy standards have risen so much that whatever the residents do receive there in terms of a safer building, I'm pretty sure it'll be far more energy efficient, far more comfortable for them to live in, and safer. And I think all our residents deserve that as a minimum. So I'm all in favor of that. And when we are going into the area and redevelopment plan for the train station, I do agree that we haven't gotten to the point where we will be putting together our asks to get them documented of what we would like to see specifically in how those buildings are built. And that would come through the site plan area with the planning board as well. The quick bill mini grant, I understand is still going. I saw, a bollard or two up. I don't know if it's still up now, given that a dump truck went by, but I'm looking forward to seeing that done. It's a small change, but it does create a safer street for our community, particularly with the bollards and narrowing of the intersection itself to create the visibility that is needed for cars to slow down. Another resident made a comment about bicycles on streets. And one of the constraints that we do have as an older town is that we cannot create bike lanes as much as we would like to have them without creating taking away parking. And we really can't take away parking because we have an issue where we have too many cars, and we have an issue with too many cars because we don't have really efficient mass transit, which is beyond the scope of what this council can work on, but we can also advocate for more mass transit. So I'd like to see more of that in the future. So that's all I have. Greetings from beautiful Siesta Key, Florida. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Laura?
Okay, so for animal welfare, just a few reminders. We did change the date of our animal food drive, which is going to be in front of Fizz and Feather on Saturday, July 26th, for collecting food for dogs and cats, which will go to lunch break. People who can't afford food for their animals, so come see us there. Also, Nancy and Ben had office hours this week, and I think this is a good way to show that the office hours are working. Someone came and said that somebody in their neighborhood was feeding deer, and that was making a lot more fox come into their neighborhood. So Nancy reached out to me right away, and we got to the animal welfare committee, and we're going to be looking into having some sort of wild feeding education, life feeding education program. So that's another thing that we're looking at. And our biggest thing is coming up is Dog Days, which comes, we're gonna have at Riverside Park, and that will be in September, on September 6th. So that's another thing that we're working really hard on with the Animal Welfare Committee.
the library, I'm just so impressed with our library. We do such great things. This is their adult calendar and this is their children's calendar, and it's so filled like every single day with something to do. Crafts for adults, dancing every Friday, bridge lessons every Monday. Besides all the book clubs that are run and different things throughout the month for adults. And then children, we have like button making bonanzas, Lego days, board games, colorful video. They have a lot of reading, not just at the library, they're doing it at Boardwalk now, which I think is great, and lots of things going on for the kids. So if you go past the library, they have these in the library printable that you can take home and, you know, make use of all the things that they do there. Really very active library. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Kate?
First, I want to thank the new Visual Arts Committee's member, Donna Rubin. She painted the Playhouse in the Broadwalk, and it came out really nice. And there's obviously a lot more pride in it already. People are respecting it more. You know, the community suffered a major loss when Tim Cronin passed away. I mean, so many people in the music scene, which me and Cassidy both grew up in. So many people are commenting, being like, well, I didn't know him that well, but it still makes me feel sad. And I think that's always an interesting thing when people grieve in a community. You don't have to be super close with somebody for you to be justified to feel really sad when they pass away. And Tim really made himself a fixture in that way. He always lent an ear. He always was there for every single person. You know, he gave free therapy without an invoice on Broad Street. And that's really valuable. That same stretch of Broad Street also lost, I mean, a wonderful resident who was always around. Michelle Finelli passed away. I remember when we first started the Broad Walk, her and all the people that actually lived on Broad Street in that exact area, being so supportive of it and just being like, yeah, like we love fun. Michelle was a fixture. She worked in a lot of our industry downtown in the restaurants, and you know, she always was just super supportive. And I know a lot of the people that live on that stretch of Broad Street are grieving because she was always around and she was just a great person. I'm trying to think what else I've got. That's all I got for right now. We accomplished so much in this meeting. Again, just super grateful for the efficiency and the amount of progress coming out of this governing body, and for the amount of morals and just love for community that sits up here. Red Bank's really lucky. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad you brought up the garden thing, because my neighbor, Pat, intercepted me walking the dog a few days ago and asked me to bring it up. And I forgot about it until you mentioned it. So there's a little more detail. This garden tour, there's a flyer on the Parks and Rec page. And there's basically a bunch of people have these beautiful, you know, gardens, and you can sign up, and it's a fundraiser. You pay a small fee, and then they give you the map and you go check out all these gardens around town. The meeting location is at East Side Park at 2:00. And then you'll probably need some form of transportation to get from garden to garden, but it'll go throughout the town. It's like Porch Fest for gardens.
Mayor, I'd recommend they travel by bicycle.
Yes, I'm gonna patent that, like trademark it.
Yes.
Speaking of end of an era, also, Stu from Monmouth Meats is retiring, right?
Oh, wow.
How long Monmouth
Yeah.
Meats has been there just forever. I don't know, maybe we'll give him like a commendation or something at the next meeting, but Monmouth Meats will still be in business. The dude from Cidarella's, I think, is taking it over, so we will still have the benefit of Monmouth Meats. And thank you, Brian, for memorializing Stu for eternity on Red Bank Green this past April Fools. I think that's all I got too. Looking forward to a great weekend around town.
Friday, Billy's playing Red Rock
That
with
is
his
true.
band, and I'll be there selling Football Mania tickets for West Side Host Fire Department. Thank you.
All
of those things are so appealing. Perfect night.
I'll be quick, mine's not as exciting as Billy's, of course. But just wanted to let everybody know, Marine Park, right now, the plan or the plan for bid is at DEP review for the environmental portion of that plan. So we're hoping to get through that process quickly. We've been in contact with them as recent as today. They've advised it's still in the review phase. They obviously know our willingness to move this project along and get this going, and we're hoping to get that out to bid in short order. Also wanted to advise everyone that the audit for 2024 was received, and the auditor did not find any significant findings in the audit, and
Wow.
stated that the finances are in good order. And that audit report will be put on the website as well for public consumption. Wanted to congratulate Count Basie on the years in November 2026 coming up. So this was their announcement tonight of a significant amount of programming and events that are going to happen between now and that time. So as the borough, we're happy to be a part of it, specifically with the Monmouth Street Streetscape project, the Labor project. We've made accommodations in that project for their Walk of Fame, which they announced. They said that they were going to unveil 2 plaques in the near future, and one of them they announced tonight, and believe it or not, it's going to be Count Basie. Crazy, right? And so obviously everybody was like, come on. You couldn't give us one. So I think in the next 2 weeks or so, they're going to announce the unveiling of another. So we're helping them out with that project as well. And Nancy, I sent along to you today too, the installation of the bike repair station right outside of Borough Hall.
Yeah, buddy.
So anybody check that out.
Mhm.
It was through the Realtors grant that we received. So that's been installed and is now available for use.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
That is short, Jen.
That's it.
All right, then can I have a motion to adjourn to executive session? Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're gonna take a 5-minute break and then you all have to leave within that 5 minutes so we can executive. This time, the governing body determined that circumstances exist to exclude the public from further discussion of certain matters. Specifically, those matters include pending litigation, the Garden at Red Bank versus Red Bank. The executive session will take approximately 15 minutes, and we will not take any action after we return from the executive session. Thank you.
Thank you.
What'd you say, garden what?
The garden